Good day, my dear students. We are now on the fourth quarter of the Strengthened Senior High School curriculum. Still, we are discussing the hypothesis testing, but for today's video, we're going to move forward to our next topic, which is testing the difference of two means using the t-test on independent samples. So for today's video, I'm going to teach it using the four methods. First is by manual method, that is the mano-mano method. Number two is by using the calculator with the calculator technique. Number three is by using the Excel analysis toolpack. And number four, by using the Jamovi. Okay, so before anything else, let us have the learning competency. You, my dear learner, should be able to test hypothesis for 1 and 2 population means using technology employing the following statistical tools, which is independent samples t-test. Actually, I've already created a playlist on hypothesis testing using the z-test and the t-test on one sample. You can actually view that on the description box po of this video. So without further ado, let us start. Okay, so the first assumption is that the variable is measured on continuous scale. Okay, by continuous scale, we mean to say it can be either in interval level. Okay, remember our lesson about the levels of measurement, wherein it has nominal data, interval, ratio, level, and ordinal. So here po, in order for us to use the t-test on independent samples, the variables that we need po, or the variables that we use in our research should be in interval level and or in ratio level. So, for example, we have the test score. So, test score po, it is ratio level because it has meaningful zero. So, that is the definition of the ratio level. The height, for example, so that is in terms of ratio level because it has meaningful zero also because when we say 0 meters, meaning say there is no distance involved or there is no height involved. Strengths of measurement. So another assumption is that the observations are independent. When you say independent, one variable does not affect the other variable. So for example, we have here the scores of one participant does not influence the score of another participant. So in your research po, if you have two independent groups, we mean by independent is that, for example, the performance of the first group doesn't affect the performance of the next group, you will use the t-test on independent samples. Okay, so another po, the data are approximately normally distributed. So in order for us to check this, we need to use the Shapiro-Wilk, the Shapiro-Wilk test in order for us to know if the data is normally distributed. However, for this video, let us assume that the data are normally distributed, okay? So again, just like our previous discussion po on one samples t-test and the z-test, so we have four-step solution in hypothesis testing. First is to formulate the null and alternative. Number two is to compute for the test statistics. Number three is to find the critical value. The critical value po is the start of the rejection region. The rejection region is where we reject the null hypothesis. Okay, and number four, this is where we decide and conclude. Okay, so meaning to say po, on step number two, this is the formula that we're going to use. Po, that is the t is equal to the sample mean of the first group minus the sample mean of the second group all over the square root of the sum of the variance of the group divided by the sample size of the first group plus the variance of the second group divided by the sample size of the second group. Now, my dear students, we know that t-test always involves the degrees of freedom. Okay, so we have, for the degrees of freedom, we have this beautiful formula that is the variance of the first group divided by the sample size of the first group plus the variance of the second group divided by the sample size of the second group squared all over the square of the quotient of the variance of the first group and the sample size of the first group all over the sample size of the first group minus 1 plus the quotient or the squared of the quotient of the variance of the second group divided by the sample size of the second group all over the sample size of the second group minus 1. So as you can see, my dear students, let's go back to our previous slide. If our variances po are unequal, meaning to say po, the variance here, the first group, and the variance of the second group is unequal, meaning to say po, we need to use this Welch t-test. However, if we have equal variances, we will use the pooled t-test. Okay? So we will use this one if the variances are equal. And what is the degrees of freedom? Okay, the formula po of the degrees of freedom for the pooled t-test is the sample size of the first group plus the sample size of the second group minus 2. Okay, however po, according to the book po that I am using, that is by Alan Bluman, year 2018, according to him, if the variances po are not given and that we are unsure if our variances are equal or unequal, it is best to use the Welch t-test. Okay, so for this video po, I'm going to use the Welch t-test, this one, in order for us to get a better result po and a more appropriate result. Okay, so let us have this example. A tax collector wishes to see if the mean values of the tax-exempt properties are different for two cities. The values of the tax-exempt properties for the two random samples are shown. The data are given in millions of dollars. At a level of significance of 0.05, is there enough evidence to support the tax collector's claim that the means are different? Okay, so first things first, we need to create or formulate the null and alternative hypothesis. So that there is a claim that at the level of significance daw po of 0.05, is there enough evidence to support that the tax collector's claim that the means are different? Okay, so there is a claim. The tax collector, he is the researcher. He claims that the means are different. So meaning to say po, so in symbolic form, that is, let me write that in this side po. Okay, so we have the mean, okay, the mean of the first group, that is the city A, okay, so is equal to the mean of the city B. Okay, so if we have this equal sign, we know that for the alternative, we have the unequal sign. Okay, unequal to the mean of the city B. So how will we state that in sentence? So okay, in sentence form, we can write this as there is no significant difference between the mean values of tax exempt properties on CTA and CTB. Okay, so this is our null hypothesis. For our alternative, if we have there is no significant difference, here po we have there is a significant difference between the mean values of tax exempt properties of CTA and CTB. Okay, the symbolic form po. For the symbolic form, we can write the mean of the CTA is equal to the mean of the CTB. And here naman po, the mean of the CTA is not equal to the mean of CTB. Okay, so when we say that there is no significant difference, by significant difference, meaning to say there is a change. If it is equal, meaning to say there is no change between the CTA and CTB, correct? So there is a significant difference. If it is unequal, meaning to say there is a difference. Okay, so that is how we interpret the symbolic notation. Okay, so now po, Okay, so we are already done with step number 1. Let us now proceed with our step number 2. So this is our step number 2. Let us get the t-value. We are using the t-test for independent samples because we know that the tax-exempt properties of city A is not influenced by the city B. So meaning to say po, t-test po on independent sample is the appropriate test statistics for this. So as you can see, we have here the sample means. Okay, so di ba po, if you can still remember, by sample mean po, di ba po, by sample mean, we know that we have to add all of the data divided by the number of samples. So that is equal to, so for the A muna tayo, so we have 113. Okay, so we have 113 plus 22 plus 14 plus 8 plus 25 plus 23 plus 23 plus 30. That will give me 258. So 258 over, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 8. So now let us look for the sample mean of the CTB. So again, we need to add all of the x divided by the n. That is how we get the sample mean. Remember our lesson po during the second quarter about the measures of central tendency. So we're going to use that here po in hypothesis testing. So we have 82 plus 11 plus 5 plus 15 plus 295 plus 50 plus 12 plus 9. Okay, that will give me 479. So I have here 479 divided by, so we know that we have 8 then. So divided by 8. So that will give me 59.875. So that is 59.875. I'm so sorry. We still have to simplify this. We have 258 divided by 8. So that will give me 32.25. These are our sample means pa lang. Okay, so sample means pa lang tayo, meaning to say po, we have still a lot to solve. So now, okay, if you can see in our formula, we already have this one and this one. Okay, let us move now to the variance. So if you can still remember, our variance po is equal to the summation of the raw score minus the sample mean squared all over n minus 1. So here po, these are the x's. We already have the sample mean for the A, meaning to say, we can just simply write here x minus the mean, and here po x minus the mean squared. Okay, so now po, we have 113. 113 minus, so we have 32.25. That will give me an answer of 80.75. So I have here 80.75. Okay, so we have to square that. Okay, so that will give me 6,520. 6,520.56 approximately. I'll just write 56. Okay, so next we have 22 minus 32.25. So that will give me negative 10.25. So that is 10.25. Okay, I need to square that. So that will give me 105.06. Okay. So we have 14 minus 32.25. Okay, so that will give me negative 18.25. Okay, so let us square that. Okay, that will give me 333.06. Okay, so how about this one? 8 minus 32.25. That will give me negative 24.25. Okay, so I need to square that. Our answer now is 588.06. Okay, so 25 minus 32.25. The answer is negative 7.25. So that is squared. So that will give me 52.56. And finally, we have 23 minus 32.25. Okay, that is 9.25, negative 9.25. Okay, let us square that. That is 85.56. Okay, next is 23 again. So that is the same. So negative 9.25, that is 85.56. And finally, we have 30 minus 32.25. That will give me negative 2.25. Okay, I need to square that. So that will give me 5.06. Okay, now what I'm going to do is to sum. Get the sum, get the summation of x minus the mean squared. Because as you can see, this part po is actually this part, correct? I can just, if I get the summation of all of these, I'll have the numerator divided by, so 8 minus 1, that will give me 7 because there are 8 data po under the CTA. Okay, so let us add. So that will give me 6520.56 plus 105.06 plus 123.06 plus 588.06 plus 52.56, 85.56 plus 85.56 plus 5.06. So that gave me 700. That is 707 or 7,775.48. Okay, so divide natin by 7. Divide 7 in order for us to get that is an approximate answer of 1,110.78. That is our variance for the first or for the CTA. Okay? Okay, now let's proceed with our second. So for our second, again, we have the s squared for the b. We need to get the summation of the x minus the mean squared all over n minus 1. So this time po, we're going what we did or kung ano po yung ginawa natin dito, yun din po yung gagawin natin dito. So we have x minus the mean and x minus the mean squared. In order for us to get this column, na kapag pinag-add natin, we will have our numerator. Okay, so we have 82 minus 59.875. Okay, that will give me 22.13 na lang. 22.13. Okay, squared tayo. That will give me 489.52. Okay, so for this one naman, we have 11 minus 59.875. So that will give me negative 48.88. Negative 48.88. Okay, so square tayo. That will give me 2,388.77. Okay, so for number 5, 5 minus 59.875. So that will give me negative 54.88 again. Okay, so square tayo. That will give me an answer of 3,011.27. So 15 minus 59.875. So that will give me negative 44.88. So square tayo. So that will give me 2013.77. Okay, so we have 295 minus 59.875. Okay, so that will give me 235.13. So I need to square that. Okay, so that is 55,283.77. Okay, so 50 minus 59.875, that will give me negative 9.88. So squared, that will give me 97.52. Okay, so we have 12 last two. 12 minus 59.875. So that will give me negative 47.88. Okay, so we have squared. So that will give me 2,292.02. And finally, we have 9 minus 59.875. That is negative 50.88 approximately. We need to square that. Okay, so we have 2,588.27. Okay, so finally, we need to add them. The summation of our x minus the mean squared is equal to, so here po, we know that this is equal to 7,775.48. So this one, okay, let us add. So that is 489.52 plus 2388.77 plus 3011.27 plus 2013.77 plus 55,283.77 plus 97.52 plus 2292.02 plus 2588.27. So that is 68,164. So that is 68,164.91 approximately. So that is equal to 68,164.91, okay, divided by 7. So we need to divide that by 7, divided by 7. That will give me 9,737.84. Okay, so now po, this is our second, or the variance for CTB. For our t value po, we have the sample mean of 32.25. So minus of 59.875 divided by the square root of. So we have 1,110.78 over the n po natin is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is 8. Plus, we have 9,737.84 divided by 8. So that will give me, okay, 32.25 minus 59.875. So that is negative 27.6025. So that is equal to negative 27.625 divided by tayo by this one. So what I like to do, since this involves square root, is for me to encode po as is. Okay, so we have here 1,110.78 over 8. Okay, so plus tayo of 9737.84 over 8. So that will give me an approximate answer of 36.82. Okay, so what I like to do is for me to use the negative 27.625. So divided by tayo, let's enclose that into parentheses. So divided by tayo by the answer natin na computed. So that will give me negative 75. Negative, so RT, let's use a darker one. So RT value po is equal to negative 0.75. Okay, so we use this value. Okay, so this is the step 1. This is the step 2. Let us proceed with step number 3. For our third step, we need to get the critical value, correct? So the critical value po is the start of the rejection region. So first, let us have the degrees of freedom. We know that the alpha is equal to 0.05. And looking at our null hypothesis, we know that this is two-tailed test because we have here the equal sign. So this is two-tailed test. So let us first get the degrees of freedom. So ako pong ginagawa ko dito is for me to directly calculate. So we already know the variance of the first. So this is this one. The variance of the second, ito din siya. And we know na 8 lang naman yung n. So pwede naman natin siyang i-recta calcu na lang uli. Opo. Para lahat po ng points hindi nawawala. So we have 1,110.78 divided by tayo by the 8. Okay, so plus the standard deviation of 9737.84. So that is equal to 8. So saan ko nakuha? Ito po yan. Apo, the standard deviation of the first, ito po yung gagamitin ko, over 8. The standard deviation of the variance of the second, ito po yan, divided by 8 din. So equal tayo. That will give me 1,356.07. Pero di ba po may squared tayo? So meaning to say, I need to square that. Okay, so that will give me, 18,000 or 1,839. 46.19. Okay, divided by tayo by this one, by all of these. Okay, so ako din, ganun din yung ginagawa ko. Apo, recta calcu na lang para hindi tayo nawawala. Box over box. Okay, gawa tayo ng parenthesis in order for us to copy this one. So meron tayong box over box uli. Our standard deviation, the variance of the first, that is 1,110.78 over 8 tayo. So as you can see, it is squared. Apo, so I need to square that. Okay, all over 8 minus 1. Sa n natin, di ba po si 8? So 8 minus 1 tayo, that is 7. Okay, so plus tayo by box over box again. Okay, then i-enclose uli natin by the parentheses as shown here. Apo, so that is 9737.84. Okay, divided by 8. Again, naka-square sila. Apo, so we have squared all over 7 tayo. Because 8 minus 1, that is 7. So that is approximately 214 for 18.21. Okay, so ang gagawin po natin is to conserve that. Gamit tayo AC. So we have 18, 3, 89, 46. Tama ba? 183, 89, 46.19. Divide natin by the preserved answer natin kanina. Okay, so that will give me 8.57. But remember, wala po tayong degrees of freedom na decimal. So I'll round that up. So that will give me the degrees of freedom is simply 9. Let us now get, okay, looking at our t-table. Okay, so hanapin natin si 0.05. This is this one, 0.05 siya. And the degrees of freedom natin is two-tailed. Apo, two-tailed tayo. Degrees of freedom is 9. So, yung ano natin is 9, dito tayo titingin. Apo. And yung intersection natin is 0.05. So, this one, under the two-tail. Hindi po dito, opo. Hindi po dito because this is one-tailed. Two-tailed tayo because unequal yung alternative natin. So, that is 2.262. Okay, so going back. Okay, so allow me to erase all the unnecessary parts po in order for me to create the normal curve. So again, RT po is equal to negative 0.75. Okay, so we have a normal curve. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, negative 1, negative 2, this is negative 3. Okay, 2.26 tayo. So, ibig sabihin dito. And negative 2.26, ibig sabihin approximately dito. Una-unahan. Yan. Let's shade that for the rejection region. Okay, the shaded region is the rejection region. Now po, our computed T, po, let's use the, is negative 0.75. The negative 0.75 is here. Okay, so this is the negative 0.75, which is our T value. So as you can see, nawala siya sa rejection region. So meaning to say, what is our decision? So our decision now is for us not to reject the null hypothesis. The decision is failed to reject the null hypothesis or do not reject the null hypothesis. So for our step number 4, our decision is failed to reject H or HO or simply do not reject HO. For our conclusion, okay, we can simply say that at the level of significance of 0.05, okay, if we do not reject the HO, that is the hypothesis that we're going to take as the conclusion. So at a level of significance of 0.05, the evidence or the evidences are enough to show that there is no significant difference. There is no significant difference between the mean values of tax-exempt properties on CTA and CTB. Okay, so my dear students, this is the manual computation. Okay, so let us use the calculator's technique. Okay, using the calculator's technique, okay, I just need you. Ito po, same lang naman yung gagawin natin, but the calculator's technique will be on the second part. Opo, para hindi na tayo mahirapan kasi 'di ba it takes time yung pag-complete lang ng column. It really takes time for us. So ang gagawin po natin is first, click the mode, hanapin po si stat that is number 3. Okay, pag nakita po si A plus B because we have two means na here or meron na po kasi tayong two set of data. So, big sabihin, I'll need to click the number 2. So, as you can see, meron na tayong X and Y. So, si X po, siya po for letter A and si Y po for letter B. So, manually, input po natin. So, 113, enter. So, 22, enter. 14, 8, 25. Okay, 23 and 23, 30. So, dito check natin kung tama yung mga measures natin, measures of central tendency and the measure of variability natin. So, we have 82, 11, 5, 15, 295, 50, 12, and we have 9. Okay, so now, pansamantala, AC muna natin. In order for us to get the mean, shift tayo. Then, nakikita si stat or distribution. Shift 1. Nakikita si var. So, i-click var. And si sample mean natin. So, si mean po, siya po yung column 1. Apo, sample mean natin. So, that is correct. That is 32.25 as computed. 32.25 talaga siya. Now, what is the mean of the second? Ganun pa rin naman, shift 1, variance or var of 4. Then, hanapin naman natin si y bar. Ibig sabihin yan, the mean naman of the second column. So, that is equal to 59.875, which is actually correct. Ito yung na-compute natin. And also, for our variances, we have shift var again. Okay, dun pa rin tayo sa number 4. Okay, so hanapin naman natin si SX. Opo, so that is the standard deviation pa. Pero di ba naka-squared siya, kaya square din natin in order for us to get the variance. The variance natin is 1,110.79 approximately. So, yun din yung nakuha natin. Pero ito kasi 78. Okay lang naman yan. Bakit po? Kasi po dito, kung makikita nyo, nag-round off na agad tayo. Kaya yung mga points, yung mga minimal points doon, yun po yung doon tayo nagkulang. Opo, pero kung hindi natin naalisin yung mga points, ito yung totoo nating makukuha. Which is actually, ano naman, negligible naman siya. Bakit po? That is only a matter of 0.01. Kaya okay lang siya. So, paano naman si variance of the second? Ganon din naman po. So, var tayo. This time, si SY naman. Apo, that is the standard deviation of the B naman. Yung B column or the second column. So, we need to click the 7, then square din natin siya to get the variance. So, that is 9737.84, which is this one. Kung makikita nyo, nakuha natin. Now, kapag meron na tayong ganyang value, pwede na natin skip ito sa table, diretso na tayo kay formula. Okay, so ngayon, I'll teach you how to use the Excel in order for us to do the hypothesis testing for this one. Okay, go to our data. Apo, this is the CTA, CTB. I need you to input the data. Now, here po, need po natin first na i-activate yung ating analysis toolpath. So, if it is already activated, makikita nyo siya dito sa data. Meron siya dito ang analysis toolpath. So, in this case, wala pa po si ma'am analysis toolpath. So, let us activate that. So, paano po? Open the file. Apo, dun po sa file, click options. Sa options, hanapin si add-ins. Sa add-ins, makikita po si analysis toolpath. I need you to click that. Then go. Apo. Then, after that may pop-up na lalabas, I need you to click the analysis toolpath, then okay. Okay, so magkakaroon tayo dito ng data analysis. So, I need you to click that. Okay, hanapin natin. So, since this is the independent t-test, independent sample t-test, and unequal variances yung ginamit natin because we don't know the variances, diba? So, it is safer for us to use the unequal variances. So, I need you to click OK. Okay, so range 1 natin. This is the first range. The second range is I need you to drag it also. Okay, so meron tayong alpha of 0.05 which is also correct. Apo. So, meaning to say, okay na ako dito. The alpha natin is 0.05. So, another worksheet dito, makikita natin yung magiging result natin. Okay, so kung makikita nyo, okay, anlakihan lang natin siya. Okay, kung makikita nyo, yung T computed natin is negative 0.75, which is the same dun sa na-compute natin. And the critical value, this is two-tailed test. Naalala po, di ba? Two-tailed tayo. The trick the T critical is indeed 2.62157 something. And as you can see, di ba po, this is positive, negative. So we need not to reject the null hypothesis kasi wala naman siya sa rejection region. Okay, so ganun lang po siya, my dear students, using the Excel. Ngayon, paano naman if we have Jamovi? Okay, now I need you to open your Jamovi. Okay, so this time, let us have the hypothesis testing using the Jamovi. Now, I want you to click the data first. Opo, under the data, makikita natin ito si A, di ba po? So, dito po, ilagay muna natin ano yung categories niya. So, for this, I can say city. Okay, so si city, ano siya? That is a nominal data, correct? And ano siya, di ba? Text lang natin si city kasi ABC lang naman siya. Now, for the B naman tayo. So, for the B, that is the tax exempt properties. Okay, so dito po, kung makikita nyo, that is continuous data. Yung nasa table baga natin, 113, wala naman tayong decimal na nakita, kaya hindi po siya decimal. That is continuous. Apo. So, we have integer siya kasi wala naman siyang decimal. Pero kung may mga decimal points, I need you to click the decimal. So, integer tayo. So, ngayon po, I need you to copy-paste magmula dun sa Excel yung data natin. So, this is for city A. Okay, so I'll just write A. And magmula naman dito, mga B na siya for the city B. Okay, so copy ko din siya. So, paste. So, have B, and B. And now po, I want you, when it is already complete, I want you to click the analysis. And for the t-test, I need you to click the independent t-test. Okay, so sa dependent variable, my dear students, di ba makikita nyo itong ruler na ito? May ruler din siya dito. So, ibig sabihin, I need to click this one, the tax exempt properties, and I need to place it here in the dependent variable. Si grouping variable naman natin, di ba may mga circle-circle siya? So, ito may circle-circle din siya. So, ibig sabihin, click natin si city sa grouping variable. Okay, so wala akong babaguhin kay 95. Apo, so that means, okay na yan. Apo, ngayon po class, ito yung kukunin, ito yung i-click natin. Halimbawa, kapag yun pong hypothesis natin is, alternative natin is greater than, o ito yung i-click natin kapag less than naman ito. Pero in this example kasi, di ba in our null hypothesis, that is unequal. So meaning to say, ito po yung i-click natin. Okay, so, pero dito kasi my dear students, kung makikita nyo, hindi na po siya gumagamit ng critical value. Ang ginagamit po kasi ni Jamovi is the p-value method. But the p-value method, my dear students, is as effective lang naman no traditional method natin. Because the p-value method is also known as the probability value. It measures the strength of the evidence against a null hypothesis. Okay, pag masyadong mataas si p-value, ibig sabihin po, very likely siyang mangyari. Okay, so dito class, I need you to remember that in p-value method, we have what we call the decision rule. Okay, sulat ko na lang dito, the decision rule. Under kay p-value method. The p-value, if the p-value is less than or equal to R alpha or the level of significance, that is the time that we reject the HO. Pero kapag si p-value natin is greater than the level of significance, that is, we do not reject the HO. So for this problem, my dear students, di ba po, yung p-value natin as shown is 0.466. And our alpha is 0.05. So now, my dear students, alin ang mas malaki, si 0.46 o 0.05? So as you can see, mas malaki si 0.46. So ibig sabihin, yung symbol natin is this one. So meaning to say, we do not reject HO. Same po nung naging conclusion natin or naging decision natin using the first three method. Okay, class, is it clear? Okay, so for your activity, I want you to answer this one. A random sample of monthly gasoline prices was taken from 2011 and from 2015. The samples are shown. Using the level of significance of 0.01, can it be concluded that gasoline cost more in 2015? So ito po kasi, my dear students, pwede din naman natin gamitin si t-test when the data set are not equal with each other. Okay, don't be confused, opo. Gagamitin natin yung pooled t-test if it is the variance, yung unequal, not the data set. Ito class, data set lang ito. When we say data set, ibig sabihin ito yung raw data lang. Wala pang ginagawang any computation doon. Purely raw data siya. So, pwede din natin gamitin. Opo, so, I want you to try to use the Jamovi and also the Excel if both of them gives you the same answer, meaning to say your answer po is correct. So that's it for today, my dear students. If you still have questions, please don't hesitate to comment down below. If you find this video helpful, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye po!